Welcome to our show entitled Planting Trees, a Smart Investment for Health. Air, water, and soil are three crucial natural resources for almost all living beings to survive, and trees are the great guardians of these elements. We breathe air into our lungs to obtain oxygen, and interestingly, the internal structures of our lungs resemble an inverted tree. The trachea resembles a tree's trunk, and the bronchi resemble a tree's branches. That's why these parts are often called the bronchial tree. The most delicate structures of the lungs, called bronchioles, resemble a tree's smallest branches, and alveoli, or air sacs, are like the leaves, where air flows through them to exchange oxygen for the body's waste product, carbon dioxide. Trees and plants are the lungs of ecosystems. They are known for their excellent ability to generate oxygen via photosynthesis with the help of the sun's energy. Leaves pull in the carbon dioxide from the air and utilize the water absorbed from the soil to make energy for their survival. The leftover from the tree's energy production is oxygen, which is released into the air through leaves. The oxygen from trees is a primary source of energy for humans, while one of our body's waste products is the fuel for the energy production of trees. Isn't that amazing? Air pollution was among the top 5 leading risk factors for early death worldwide in 2019 and causes about 7 million deaths every year. Today, 90% of people breathe unclean air that contains significant amounts of pollutants. Another benefit of trees is their remarkable capacity to act as a filter for atmospheric pollutants, such as sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide, which are among the most common air pollutants that are detrimental to health. These incredible green giants are particularly good at removing particulate matter such as PM2.5 or smaller nanoparticles that can travel deep down the respiratory tract and cause discomfort. Research shows that trees help remove particulate matter in the air in 2 ways. One way is through a process called dispersion, in which thick clouds of tiny particles make contact with trees and become spread apart and diluted by the air. A second way is through deposition, in which the matter gets stuck in the waxy, hairy surfaces of leaves and remains there until rainfall brings it to the ground. The size and texture of leaves determine how well each type of tree helps in this natural filtration process. The evergreen species in particular are highly effective because they keep their leaves all year round. In a study of tree species in major urban cities globally, some of the best candidates for removing PM2.5 included the silver maple, honey locust, pine, and cypress. The coniferous dense canopy of needle-like leaves works well in this pollutant purifying operation. Still, since wind direction, building structure, and landscape affect how pollutants move, trees must be planted accordingly to perform their best. How much can tree planting remove air pollution? The U.S. Forest Service reported that trees in the United States saved more than 850 human lives and prevented 670,000 cases of acute respiratory symptoms every year. Noise can disturb one's sleep and has been linked to an elevated risk of hypertension, heart attack, and stroke. Trees can act as a medium to block noise pollutants as well. They reduce noise via a phenomenon called sound attenuation, meaning lowering sound intensity. These self-sufficient heroes can absorb and deflect sound waves to lessen unwanted noises using their leaves, twigs, and branches. In metropolitan areas, the pavement, infrastructure, and buildings are surfaces that absorb solar radiation and create a heat island effect. In US cities with more than 1 million people, The average temperature can rise to 12 degrees Celsius more in the evening compared to rural areas, making heat stress a greater risk. Trees and greenery are simple and effective ways to cool down a city. They help by providing shade and through evapotranspiration, or the process by which flora emit water into the air, thus creating a cooling effect. Shaded surfaces can be 11 to 25 degrees Celsius cooler than the peak temperature in an unshaded area. With evapotranspiration, a further 1 to 5 degrees reduction can be achieved. Drinking good quality water helps maintain physiological functions and keep us healthy. Trees can effectively improve water quality by intercepting rainfall with their leaves. Hence, less rain directly hits the pavement and washes off pollutants such as copper from vehicle brake pad debris and other heavy metals from sources like roofing material. With more rain falling on the leaves, more clean water can be put back into ecosystems by evaporation and transpiration. Moreover, the roots help the water to infiltrate the ground, and the soil can filter pollutants before discharging into the groundwater. On average, a healthy 30-meter tall tree can purify up to 50,000 liters of water from the ground and put it back into the atmosphere in the form of oxygen and water vapor within one growing season. This filtration benefit means the more extensive the forest coverage, the less we need to run our water treatment centers. Trees are not just functional, but they are also aesthetically pleasing too. Research shows that being in nature and surrounded by trees and greenery for just 2 hours per week can benefit our physical and mental health. The Japanese concept of shirin-yoku, or forest bathing, is a way of experiencing the rejuvenation of nature through all the senses via a slow walk in the forest. With decades of experiments and research, forest bathing therapy has shown positive results in reducing stress, and the participants often feel much happier afterwards. Scientific evidence shows that forest trees give off volatile essential oils called phytoncides, which have antimicrobial properties that help strengthen our immunity. Studies have also observed that frequent contact with trees positively affects our NK cells, which are responsible for protecting us against pathogens and tumors. Being around trees more frequently appears to be a simple and economical way to improve our general wellness. One study that tried to quantify the health benefit of having trees in our lives concluded that having 10 more trees in a city block on average improves health perception in ways comparable to an increase in annual personal income of $10,000 and moving to a neighborhood with $20,000 higher median income or being 7 years younger. A study found that patients in hospitals can recover faster by viewing trees, which helps reduce blood pressure and stress. Trees provide us with food, generate oxygen, conserve water, stabilize the ground soil, act as wildlife shelters, and enrich our lives in many other ways. Currently, around 3 trillion trees and forests cover about 30% of the world's land area. However, their numbers are declining at an alarming rate due to animal-people factories and deforestation. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, or FAO, around 17% of the Amazonian rainforest has been destroyed over the past 50 years, and there was a significant rise of 21% in tree felling just in 2020. An area equivalent to over 10,000 football fields is cleared each day in the Amazon basin alone. Approximately 10 million hectares of trees per year are chopped down to grow crops and create pasture land for animal-people raising. The FAO says that nearly 40% of global deforestation is caused by grazing of animal persons raised for food, and more than 50% of forest loss is due to the conversion of forest into cropland. To stop the destruction of our beloved planet, and prevent the loss of precious trees. Adopting a vegan diet is the quickest and easiest step every one of us can take. Planting trees is also highly beneficial. It must therefore be our conscious choice to make the right move to protect our home and the homes of our co-inhabitants. Let's plant more trees, be vegan, and reconnect with nature for true health and preserving our precious planet.